red shirts have apparently taken over about 20 major intersections in Bangkok. They've closed down parts of Sukhumvit, the shopping district. The army, I'm with the soldiers at the moment at Victory Monument. We just witnessed a battle between the red shirts and the soldiers. The soldiers first used water cannon. The red shirts were throwing rocks and Molotov cocktails at them. Then the soldiers advanced, firing volleys in the air, and drove back the red shirts. It was basically a pitched battle. There was one person badly injured. I don't know how. He's a civilian. He's lying on the road. He's been taken away by the medics.
How are the people feeling on the ground?
It's a very volatile situation all over. We're expecting the army to make further moves like this, inroads trying to drive back the Reds at various critical intersections. We had been tipped off earlier that the army would move in the afternoon, and it is just a pretty anarchic situation, one could say. And there's a lot of uncertainty. Most of the shops are closed by now. It's an absolutely chaotic situation, and the soldiers are not using gas. They are first trying to intimidate the Reds by beating their batons on shields. Then they are backing it up with firing volleys of gunfire in the air. Still a very dangerous situation for the people around in the buildings, etc. Soldiers went up on the pedestrian overpasses at Victory Monument, which is a major intersection. The Reds seem to have disappeared for now. With the soldiers firing live ammo, you can't expect them to hang around very long. But in other places they have been preparing Molotov cocktails and whatnot, and preparing buses which they're going to torch. So I think we're in for an afternoon of very, very serious and probably escalating turmoil. The PM went on TV about 45 minutes ago saying the people should trust the authorities, and whatever the soldiers did in the morning was for the good of the country. He said that 20-plus soldiers were injured and 40-plus red shirts were injured, but they were denied any deaths, while the red shirts are claiming that several red shirts were killed by the soldiers.
Okay. How do you think this bodes for the Thai people?
I think it'll just completely radicalize, further polarize and radicalize the population. If you talk to even ordinary people who are not red shirt wearing on the streets out here, they are shocked at the deployment of the soldiers. And they are very angry about the army coming out in the streets and shooting at civilians. I mean, they clearly shot at civilians because in the morning, in addition to shooting at the air, because I saw pictures taken on a mobile phone, showed bullet holes in a taxi. So there's widespread anger here against the army, and I think it's only going to get worse because it's inevitable when the army is deployed against civilians, even against the red shirt protesters. Obviously, ordinary people's sympathies would be with the army. One doesn't know which way the sympathies of the Bangkok middle class, who are largely against the red shirts, one can't say where those will lie. But I think it's pretty safe to say that the government has, by putting the army on the streets, has probably gotten a lot of the wrong kind of publicity, and I think the tourism industry is certainly going to go down the drain completely. And it's very tense and very volatile, and there's dangers of bombs, fire, all kinds of things. It's a totally uncertain situation. It's anarchic out here.
Do you know of any Singaporeans who might be affected who are over there?
Unless they are trapped in some of the hotels where the first firing took place, which is right here actually, 200 meters up the road, where I'm standing, is a Century Park Hotel, and that's full of mostly, I could see, Western tourists who were basically trapped and were too scared to leave the hotel. Yeah. And firing took place right outside. So, and then some shopping malls have closed shop completely. Most of the shops are shuttered. And I think tourists would just be... oh, shit. Sorry.
What's happening?
An explosion of some kind. Okay.
Are you alright?
In this situation, you never know what will happen. That's the problem. Okay, I got to get back. I got to get behind. Yeah. So this is just a small sort of taste of what's probably going to happen across Bangkok this afternoon in many places. And a lot of tourists would of course be just staying in the hotels and waiting to get out of here. And I think this is certainly the end of tourism in Thailand for the foreseeable future.
Okay, do you think the king might take a stand?
Sorry, again?
Do you think the king might take a stand?
So who might be the king? Yeah, well, I suppose many people would be hoping at some point that he will come out, but that remains to be seen.
Okay, what can we expect later today?
Later today, the army is basically going to carry on as far as we have given to understand, and there's no reason to believe otherwise. We know that these are troops out here in front of me. These are troops from the border province, Aranya Pradesh, in Cambodia. So this is quite typical when you sort of quelling urban unrest to bring in troops from the borders, so that they're not fully informed of the news, the whole background, etc. They're just told that we have to suppress the mobs. So while there is talk of, while many in the army, in the mid-level officers are kind of conflicted about this whole situation, and people are saying the army might well split, the police are nowhere in sight because essentially they favor the red shirts after having been humiliated in their confrontations with the PAD last year. So through the course of the afternoon, the army will just obviously keep moving in and pushing back the red shirts. That is, clearing the intersections and basically trying to clear the city, you know.
Yep.
And the red shirts, of course, are focused and coalesced in their protest site to Government House. That's a different cup of tea altogether, because there's something like 10,000 of them there. And with the army going in there, we don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen then.
Thank you, Nirmal.
Right. Bye.